Fleming didn't always call this home. Prior to the pandemic, he lived in West Palm Beach, Florida. Nowadays, he lives outside Orlando, in Paisley, in this trailer on property owned by his girlfriend's parents. A layoff at the start of the pandemic left him no choice.
West Palm wasn't set up for the pandemic. With the high rent, with the high electric, with the high utilities.
Since his first layoff last March, Jamel has had a few jobs, but also a few more layoffs. He's currently out of work and the type of person Congress is trying to help.
Finding something that's long-lasting, especially in a year after the pandemic, is hard to do. Me personally, right now, I would say I'm about 2.5 to about 3 months behind on just my personal payments.
So how does the stimulus bill actually help Jamel? Well, he would qualify for $400 weekly unemployment bonus benefits, and he would also get a $1,400 stimulus check.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you get your $1,400 stimulus check?
The first thing I'm going to do is probably put it towards bills, honestly.
But even though Jamel is poised to get something from Washington, he isn't exactly elated. Jamel doesn't have kids, so he won't get an expanded child tax credit. He's also not going to see a minimum wage bump. That's out of the bill. Rental assistance is nice, he says, but he's no longer paying rent. All of this is actually leaving him frustrated. President Biden isn't doing more to get him what he really wants. A job.
Honestly, I don't see anything that's going to help me. I mean, and that's just me being completely honest. $1,400 is, I mean, it's going to be nice for the first 2 weeks, but I'd rather work for it. I would much rather them give us some sort of incentive to go back to work and fund us that way than, just paying us more to sit at home.
That request, though, for now is tough, as health officials still urge caution when it comes to companies bringing employees back, and caution hurts the economy. In the meantime, Jamel says he'll enjoy the Florida view, wait for that stimulus check, while hoping a job comes knocking soon.
I've had to open up about 3 or 4 different credit cards. I still have bills.
In Paisley, Florida, I'm Joe St. George.
Alliance for Youth and the Sober Life are trying to help women stay safe by hosting an educational luncheon. As MTN's Kaylee Neitzel explains, this is an important event here in Montana.
On Saturday afternoon here at the Alliance for Youth facility, the Sober Life hosted a luncheon to empower local women and to educate them on how they can stay safe. The Sober Life is a nonprofit organization that provides community support for addiction and abuse recovery. On Saturday, they hosted a women's empowerment luncheon to come together and discuss topics like abuse, addiction, and human trafficking. Keynote speaker at the luncheon, Shanna Bullock Chisholm, says these issues are important to discuss because of how prevalent they are in the state of Montana.
It was something that we really figured out needed to happen here in Great Falls. We needed to have a trafficking task force. We needed to be basically looking for and trying to identify people that were being trafficked or potentially being lured into trafficking situations.
The Women's Empowerment Luncheon featured a presentation on human trafficking issues and included a demonstration of some self-defense maneuvers. They also had some local women share testimonials that are still in recovery from various forms of trauma. Lunch for the event was catered by the new local Brazilian restaurant, 5 on Black. Leah Wetzel, the woman responsible for the Women's Empowerment Luncheon, got the inspiration for the event after going through her own story of recovery.
I'm just kind of following my heart and trying to be that voice for family members and everybody that has lost somebody and has been through traumatic experiences.
Lunch and childcare for the event were provided by the Sober Life. In Great Falls, Kaylee Neitzel, MTN News.